All right, on today's show, we're going to be talking about music, music production, entrepreneurial spirit, and what does it take to make it in the music industry. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
It's Mauricio Mejia Live. Entertainment guru, Silicon Valley entrepreneur, author, and speaker. It's Mauricio Mejia Live.
Welcome back. We're back here at Mauricio Mejia Live, Studio B in downtown San Jose, heart of Silicon Valley. And got a special guest today, good friend of mine, music producer, DJ, talent, all kinds of great stuff. And like to welcome Clayton William. What's up, my brother? How are you?
What's happening?
It's been some time since we've been together, man. Hung out and all the good stuff, man. You're just busy.
In my head, though, it's like, has it been that long? Because I feel like we still still watch and see, and shit, man. I just had a new baby girl, so
There you go. That's right. Congratulations.
Yeah.
How long has that been?
she's 6 months now.
Whoa, wait a minute. See, I haven't seen you then for that long.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, damn.
I mean, I kind of fell off. I had to go into hibernation mode, kind of get the family straight.
Yeah.
But summertime, baby, so we're back out.
Well, it's time to get out and do some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Man, well, one, thank you for coming out. I know that you're super busy. You're in the studio fucking pretty much every day, 7 days a week. You live in the lab and all that good stuff. And today I just wanted to just talk about the journey and what it took for you to get here. I know that we go way back.
Man.
I mean, we go back to some Wild 90 for 9 days.
I mean, even before that, bro, I was explaining to somebody our relationship maybe a couple weeks ago. I was like, Mauricio's had me as a customer since I was 15 years old. Because when I was coming up, Mauricio ran the all-age club in San Jose, the 18 and up, and the 21 and up
That's
spots.
That's right. So I've slowed down a lot from the back in the days, but no, man, it's been some time that we've done, just kind of again, just caught up, and I think today I just wanted to just catch up and see, talk about where it all started for you, where it all began. I know that I know parts of the story, but we want to share that out with the world because.
Man.
It's important, right? Especially being in the position that you're in, and there's a lot of different parts to this. Obviously, you've been producing music for a very long time. You got passion in that. You've been also as a DJ. You've also been producing music for DJ and DJing. But your roots go deeper than that in the radio world, and let's share that with the world, man.
I mean, it started here in San Jose, man.
Okay.
When I was coming up, hyphy music was big, and I would listen to St. John's House Nation, and I would go sneak into raves at 15, 16 years old at the San Jose or the Santa Clara Fairgrounds.
Okay,
in San Jose, off Tully.
I remember those. Those were the Cool World raves back in the day. Yeah,
and then they did the House Nation events and stuff there.
That's right.
My boy was shout out my boy Johnny Velasquez. He was a rebel dancer.
Okay.
So he'd get in the dance circles and start busting down. I just hit on girls on the side.
Yeah.
All
the spectators and stuff that were coming in.
Yeah,
so.
But that's where I got exposed to, I think, the vast amounts of music that I got to hear, from dance and house music to you go in a side room and hear drum and bass, then you go in the other room and there's a hip hop room.
Yep.
And growing up and living in San Jose, like freestyle was really big.
Still is.
Right,
they won't let that shit die.
Actually, I'm working on bringing it back too.
Well, actually, music is cyclical, right?
Yes.
And right now it seems like the freestyle, the old school, the funk old school, like the Atomic Dog, Genius of Love kind of vibe is the stuff that's coming back.
Yeah.
It's like fashion, right? If fashion it recycles itself,
For sure.
Some of the kids that are wearing the Converse and the Jordans, I'm like, that shit's 30 years old, man. So, I mean, I wore those when I was a kid. Tell us about how you got into it, because I know that, it's been a journey for you. I mean, starting in the scene and then in radio and all that stuff.
Well, when I was in college, I was lucky enough to I played baseball through school, so I was able to get a baseball scholarship. And at the school I went to a small NAIA school in Kansas, and they had a choir, they had a symphony, orchestra. So I took all music electives.
Okay.
So I'd be in my dorm room playing the piano. I wasn't a straight A student. My coach got mad at me because he caught me smoking weed. And in Kansas, that shit's illegal. You know? but I say that to say, like my mom played the piano, my dad played the guitar, so music was always in my house. You know, you talk about from funk to soul music to Marvin Gaye and Motown to the Beatles and Eric Clapton, and then like when I was in high school, like then I discovered Tupac, and then I was like anti-metal, but then I discovered Metallica and the San Francisco Symphony. Yeah, so it was like, and then Linkin Park came, and then so big, diverse, just plethora of music. I remember when I was young going over to my neighbor's house, and his parents had this huge eclectic like vinyl collection, and I remember hearing Earth, Wind and Fire September for the first time.
That's a hot track.
Lit me up. Yeah, and I think that kind of and then school allowed me to then explore and learn music. So I'm now getting into college, and I'm taking piano courses, and not knowing that I thought I was going to be a pro baseball player. Yeah. But not knowing that interest, once I got hurt my junior year in college, that was my fallback. And I've kind of never been a person to like have a plan B. Yeah. I kind of don't believe in that. I think that having a safety net means you'll end up hitting the safety net.
Yeah, that's what it's there for, right? It's if you're thinking plan B, then you're not working for plan A.
Exactly. So I kind of never gave myself a backup plan. Like, even though my mom's Chinese, she's like, you should be a doctor. Yeah. I'm like, nah, that ain't for me. I just, I got hurt my junior year in college. Got hit right here on my hand by a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Broke my hand. Damn. And I got, you go through this depression mode. You're like, damn, what am I going to do next? So you got to that was one of it's a crossroad. You come to a crossroad, right? I feel like every chapter in your life, you kind of have decisions to make, right? And that was probably one of my first real memories as a youngster. Like, all right, what do I really want to do with my life? Yeah. And I said, fuck it, I'm going to go. I came back to the Bay. I went to, because I had a scholarship, my parents had a little bit of money left, saved up that I could go to school, but I knew I didn't have enough to probably finish. So a lot of my credits didn't transfer. But I went to Cogswell College here in Sunnyvale, which was they had music, film, it was just all media arts, digital arts. And so I was kind of like the tail end of all the analog shit was now getting dated, and I was like the beginning of the digital space. We're talking 2004, 2005, And
damn. All right, I was 2004, 2005. I was already out of the.
You were already making money off me.
No, yeah. I was already preparing for the next move. Yeah, 2004 is when I opened up the vault.
Yeah. So now I realize oh shit. So now computers and all this stuff is it's accessible to people.
Still expensive though.
At that time, for sure.
Super expensive.
We had one computer in my house, and my dad would use it for bills and stuff, and I'm trying to figure out how to install a music beat making program on there, and just trying to figure it out. And I just started that was the start of kind of that journey, understanding digital media, digital arts. Cogswell was really cool because I could one of my I had to make a project, and then we'd work with the film team to then do the music video or do a documentary, and then we work with the graphic design team to graphics. So they had all the departments there, so it taught me the process.
I think that school became Silicon Valley.
I think so,
University.
Yeah, I think so.
I went actually at that when you said the name. It kind of stirred a memory, and I've been to that campus. Man, that's pretty freaking dope, man. The stuff that they do there, and they have a whole department of actually designing sculptures too. They have a sculpture section.
They had that, and they would. I believe when I was there, they would team up with Lucasfilms or something to how to animate and
how to do that stuff. And it was interesting. They don't talk about it. They're not allowed to promote it either. But it's interesting the groups that they worked with, big movie companies Star Wars, Lucasfilms, and all that good stuff. So
I remember there was only this one teacher I really liked. His name was Bruce Tambling. Still remember him. This hippie dude, and but he had worked with MC Hammer, he'd worked with D40. Yeah. So I was like, all right, forget all these other guys. I took all his classes. Like I'm kind of like one of those people when I put my sights on something, like I hyper focus on it.
Yeah.
I get addicted to it. And he had that personality. He had the understanding. He knew how to teach. And I really got to kind of get a scope of like, okay, here's art. And then there's all these different types of art. So it's subjective. Art is subjective. So there's really no right or wrong. But now how do you bring out what you like and make that into a reality?
Right.
So that's kind of what I got from college. And then I kind of knew like I'm only going to be here for about a year and a half, 2 years. So I was like, all right, I hit the year point. And I'm like, let me figure out what I'm going to do next. So then I applied to iHeart. iHeart or Clear Channel was turning into iHeart Media at the time.
Yeah.
And
that was Wild 94.9 when they were on Townsend, I think, at the time already.
Correct.
They had already moved. Yep.
yeah, they were at Townsend. And at the time, there's no record labels in the Bay. Like Universal had just left. I think we had like Fontana was like their distribution point out here. I think everything had just moved to LA like at that time. So I'm like, damn, like I want to get into music, but what's the next best way to get around it? So I loved listening to the radio. I loved the music. I loved the shows. And it, that was kind of the start of like this kind of serendipitous journey. I think like when you vision things and then all of a sudden they start happening and then all of a sudden people you look up to then become your friends.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of radio was the start of. So I start interning, doing street team shit.
Yeah.
And now I'm like promoting clubs. And flyering and doing all like
doing all that stuff.
The ground level work. Yeah, and I wouldn't trade it for the world because I think that now gives me the backbone and the foundation of a lot of the stuff that we do now.
Yeah, it's work ethic, man. It took because there was no social media back then. So
MySpace was just starting.
Yeah, when we talk MySpace, people are like, "What? What's my?" The internet was actually the internet was probably already 10 years old. Something like that, but it wasn't.
You had chat rooms and stuff at the time. You didn't have the social media.
AOL and stuff.
Yeah.
That's funny. The chat rooms.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see that era, or to go back to that era and think about what we had to do in order to get the word out. I mean, we used to print out thousands and thousands of flyers. We had to go.
5,000 bundles.
Yeah, we had to go do guerrilla marketing. We have to hit the malls. We had to hit cars. We had to hit parking lots. I mean, we went to the competitors. I mean, we were bombing literally the competition and just carpet bombing everything with flyers just to get the word out. And a lot of it was word of mouth, right? You get a couple of what we call influencers now, right? We know people that know people, and they would get on the phone and they would call their friends, and then everybody would start, calling each other, and then boom, just it hit, and that was the beauty about and partly why I did what I did was when I had my all ages, 18 and over and 21 and over, because all I was doing was recycling, from a period of 15 to 25 and then 25 to 35, and that's why for fucking 25 years I dominated the scene. It's interesting. I still got that touch where I could throw like. We're bringing out Detox, out of retirement. We're going to try the brand out. We're not going to get crazy with it. I want to just try it out twice. We're going to do 2 dates just to test the market. And if it works, then next year we'll roll out a series. But right now, it's just we're still in that kind of what's going to happen. And we'll see what it goes, how it all turns up. Obviously, doing all of that stuff, what it gave me was the work ethic. It gave me that focus, that drive, because I knew what I wanted to do at a young age. You had to work your way up in that.
Yeah.
Radio back then was so political. I mean, it still is today, but there was was radio wars back then.
Literally.
There was KMEL and Wild, where like they weren't owned by the same company, so they were going to war with each other.
Literally, like slashing to each other's tires.
Pretty much like
I was a part of it.
Yeah. There was a dumpster diving to see what playlists, who was doing all kind. I mean, the stories are crazy, right? And then again, just kind of just graduating to the next level.
Right, like entertainment's not your typical 9 to 5.
No,
so and I agree with you in that point. Like my schedule was never like set. It was I might start at 6 a.m. one day, I might start at 3 p.m. the next day, but I'm not getting off till 3 a.m.
Right.
And then getting back up at 7 on Thanksgiving, missing my family, all the family stuff for the day.
Yeah.
To be doing an event, to be with with the radio station or with out with the people.
Right.
And that's the same. That discipline is what I learned working in radio as well. It wasn't. You had to be an extraordinary person and have extraordinary work ethic in order to survive and succeed.
Yeah. Well, that industry is crazy, man. I mean, just from going back to it, I think about it. Yeah, those. We started at 9:00 at night and finished at 4 a.m. Mm-hmm. And part of the crazy life, I actually tell people I lived the lifestyle. I did it all.
For sure.
And
me too. Still do.
It's definitely slowed down for me. Yeah. And that's just because I've been out of it, and actually the circles that I've put myself out there with. Now it's I'll use my promotion marketing skills, all the guerrilla tactics that I have, in promoting different types of events. We just had our first annual taco throwdown this past weekend.
Yeah.
Had it not been for the rain, we would have doubled the numbers, but we were super happy. We didn't lose anything. Mm-hmm. We actually made money, considering that we had a monsoon on the only day. The day before was beautiful. The day of sucked, and then the day after, beautiful.
I feel it.
So it was like, I actually looked at it a couple of ways. I said that could be a blessing too. It's an omen when it actually rains. I looked at it as like a grand opening or a kickoff. So I had to spin it into a positive for myself, because it happens, right? I've had many grand openings in my history where it rained. The last time that happened to me was July 19th of 2013 when I opened up Chacho's in downtown. Literally on the grand opening day, it rained. The day before, beautiful. The day of, rained, and the day after, beautiful. It was like, and then someone had told me that was actually good luck, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to take it as good luck, because it was super packed, but it could have been much more, busier and stuff like that.
But the Bay Area is different now than ever before.
I agree. I agree with that statement.
Gentrification was a real thing. Like when I left radio, I'd moved to LA for 7 years.
That's right. Yeah.
So when I came back, it's kind of a whole new place.
Yeah.
But it does need a lot of revitalization.
Yeah. We need to revamp. Yeah. We need to reignite the scene, or reignite something, in order to get people to come back to coming out and having fun, getting out of their shell.
Yeah.
Let's talk about LA, because I know LA was pretty fun for you. You did a lot of good stuff down there. You were producing. You were working with some pretty big artists. Share with us some of the stuff you did down in LA, because that's also where you met your girl, right? I mean, or was that up here?
I met Nayeli working at Wild 949.
Okay.
I was on a street team, and then I ran into her at the Chevron on 6th and Santa Clara.
What'd you do? Offer to pour her gas or what?
No, like, how she had like her cousins in a car, and then you pull up with the truck, and then like at that time, like people would expect you to give them CDs or stickers or
okay,
whatever,
with
right?
one of the radio trucks. Yeah.
One of the Wild 949 trucks. And so her cousins get out, and I take care of them. I give them some stuff, and I go say hi to her. And she's at the gas pump filling up. I'm like, "Hi, I'm Clayton." She's like, "Hi, I'm Nayeli." And she goes, "You're cute." I said, "You're beautiful." I was like, "Let me get your number." So yeah, and then shit.
There was no social media back then. That was the only way of picking up on people,
Yeah, do it in real life.
Hand-to-hand combat, not being the shit.
Yeah, and then 18 years later, we're still together.
Wow. Nayeli went down. She took the journey with you to LA then.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like to set up LA, like radio was the only way to get into music, So pursuing that, and then once I got my first song on the radio as a producer, I did what you did. I said, "Fuck school."
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that for everybody.
Yeah, no. I'm definitely don't advocate that, man.
But the piece of paper, to me, didn't determine the experiences that I was getting the real world. And so, yeah, I'm the same, bro. I have my bachelor. I mean, I have my AA degree, but my associates. But I don't have. I'm a year away from a communications marketing degree and a music degree.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel the need to go back and do it. You know what I mean? I'm in my mid-30s now, so it's like the experience and the team mattered more to me,
right?
Than per se being around and I don't look at all teachers like this because
Yeah.
I had one teacher that was real life doing it, but then I had other teachers who were reading a textbook and teaching me,
Yep.
not real world experience.
Right.
And
Oh yeah, I totally feel you on
so
that one.
totally different,
Yep.
like point of view and perspective. But yeah, like so when I got out of radio, Nayeli and I, we set up our first like tour. Like we did like a high school college tour, and we this is the first time like starting our own business, and so we're leaving radio. We started our own like production company. I got a studio in Santa Clara, right next to where Levi's is now,
Okay.
and then eventually had one in Smash Mouth's building.
Okay.
On Winchester in San Jose. And so it was like Tracks a Million, DJ Fresh, myself, like we had studios there. And man, at that time, like now we're like post hyphy, we're like now I guess you call like the twerk era, like so Diplo and Snake are blowing up, kind of mashing up like West Coast hip hop and New Orleans bounce music with EDM, dance music and dance hall culture. Right. So I start doing that, plus
And you were doing this in L.A.
I was doing this here.
Okay.
This is like my last year in the Bay.
Got you.
And now I'm getting like incredible support because I'd just done like 6.5, 7 years like in radio. I started DJing. Nayeli was on the radio. She had like a weekend show.
Uh-huh.
And both of us.
What state was she on? Wild?
She was on Wild 94.9 too
Okay.
as well, yeah. And then I was running the promotions department like my last 2 years there. And then that's when the DJing had started. So I start remixing like hip hop into EDM music, and all of a sudden that shit starts taking off. Like DJ City, like my friends down there, shout out to Edwin. They really like championed kind of what I was doing, and so I start like I had a hip hop record with like Sage of Gemini and D-Mac and Milla, and that starts taking off on the hip hop side. Felly Fell at Power 106 starts debuting and playing it in LA. And I'm like, damn, like I'm getting more love in LA than I am here. But or let me rephrase that. I had all the relationships here.
Yep.
So the next step was to damn, now I'm getting love in LA.
Yep.
And the EDM shit is taking off, and it's bigger in LA than it was here. Mm-hmm. So I did this remix with Jay Espinoza and we flipped Shake That Monkey with Little John and Too Short. Mm-hmm. And that started taking off. So now I got 2 records at the same time. One's in the EDM, like DJ Mustard, Little John, Diplo. Like these guys are playing it in their festival sets, and I'm getting like DMs like, yo, look at this shit. I think like it was like I was getting Snapchats and this stuff, and I'm like just watching this shit, and I'm seeing my records get played in front of like 50,000 people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I gotta leave. I gotta get my ass to LA. So I did. I kind of set a goal. I was like, I'm gonna go once a month until I feel comfortable with the relationship, so I could move. Yep. And I did that for a whole year. And I go once a month or every other week at times, and I spent 2-3 days, 3-4 days. Then it started to turn into a week, and then 2 weeks at a time. And then I'm like, all right, I'm ready now. Now I had enough relationships in Los Angeles to where when I moved down there, I could get there and like work right away. I had a studio to move into at that time now. And I mean, it literally like, you talk about like things just happening overnight when you build the momentum. It did. Like all of a sudden Chris Brown came, and then working with Justin Bieber came, and Fifth Harmony, and it just kept going. And so, yeah, I just kind of took that momentum, and like, you know, you kind of have to get this like, moving was probably one of the scariest hurdles for me because there's always that uncertainty.
Right.
But once I
settle in and you lose everything.
Yeah, but you know, like, and this is where you know, like my faith, or you know, I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual. And that's where having this belief, this understanding, like you have a calling, you have a purpose. Yeah. I went down there, and by the grace of God, like never. I might have been late on rent a few times, but I never missed it.
There you go.
You know,
it's
like
okay.
you be.
It's okay. You just reminded me I got to take care of some bills when I get out of here.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing. You know, it's like so. You know, putting that step forward and just kind of and then again the learning how to build a business, learning how to like budget myself and take care. And Nayeli was handling a lot of like the back end of my business. So at that time, like now she started working for the Grammys in LA. So she got a gig working with them. And then I still was just hustling in Los Angeles. Then the DJing stuff starts to pick up. And then It goes from
LA was good to you, man.
It was great. It was it was definitely like a great season of my life. You know, and then that kind of gave me a platform to then start touring across the West Coast from San Diego, Phoenix, Vegas, come back here, Sacramento. Mm-hmm. And then I would just take artists that I was working with and kind of run that circuit, you know, and then, you know, then I learned how to start saving a little bit, you know, give any extra. My mom's in the financial world, so she then started to teach me about like stocks and stuff.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Facebook started splitting, and then okay, cool. Now I have multiple streams of income that then like we're able to buy a home out here and stuff like that.
Nice.
But
so
yeah.
7 years down in LA, some crazy stuff going down there. You got some productions.
Yeah.
Totally springboards you up. Why would you want to come back to the Bay?
Man, so we had talked about when we were gonna have kids or start a family. Did we want to raise children? I remember the day, man. My son comes and literally like he's born at like 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. I'm at a video shoot. Thank you. I'm at a video shoot that night, and then back in the studio in the morning. Like I had no time to just rest or even just be with my kid and my wife. And right at the same time, like people were telling me that Empire was about to officially start the record label, open up a studio in San Francisco.
What year is this? Because Gazi's been around for a long time. I mean, Gazi used to come down to my club. Well, he used to go to everybody's club, you know, looking for talent and all that good stuff.
This is like 2019.
Okay. All right.
My son's 5, so I start hitting him up, and he's having his first child at this time too. Mm-hmm. So we kind of got to reconnect on that conversation, both being dads for the first time.
Yeah.
And I think it was in August of 2019, I get a call, hey, why don't you come back and check out what we're doing? So, and we were already thinking about moving back. So it just, again, the stars start to align.
Yeah.
I did not want to move back.
Yeah.
I will tell you that first off. I did not want to, and I love the Bay. I'm from here.
Yeah.
But you brought something up earlier that I had to do as well. I had to flip the mindset.
Yeah.
And I had to see, for instance, when I started, after I had done a record for Justin Bieber, I started taking a bunch of meetings with a bunch of executives, top A&Rs. They didn't give a shit about the music.
Yeah.
They cared about the business.
That's right.
They cared about who was I around.
That's right.
Who was I tapped into? Who were my business partners? And I'm going into these meetings like, what are you talking about? I'm here to show you music.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand.
No, they needed.
That at all.
It's a network. But it's a network on a whole different level.
Yeah.
And I learned that too. That once I started diversifying my network and the diversifying what I had and the income that I had, and started playing the game at a different level. I got this the other day. I was watching Gary Vee, and he said a point that just keeps resonating in my head. He goes, for me or for what he does is I know what I need to live, to go, I know what it takes for me to live day to day, or what it just takes just to live.
Yeah.
He says, all that extra, I don't need it. He goes, I keep reinvesting it in myself. He goes, because all I'm doing is reinvesting it in the game of business. I get to play business by reinvesting my money or reinvesting into it. And it really, and you get to play at different levels. It's like leveling up, right? You got to, if you want to play like video games, right? I've seen it. I'm not a big gamer, but I've seen parts of it where if you want to game up, you got to pay to game up. You don't get to, you can game up or you can play either the long way or you can game up.
Yeah, quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. You can exponentially grow or learn the hard way and do it that way. And I just, that's what I've started to notice too, was as I started leveling up and went from street promoter to operator to then owner and then to businessman and then to investor and then to, everything has its different levels.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Yeah, I hear that from Gazi a lot. Like he has his means that he would live on, but then every investment was really into a new employee.
That's right.
Bring a new asset or more income to the table.
There you go.
And yeah, it was really cool.
I love what you just said, and that's true. What Gazi said, and it's exactly what I do. If I can divert funds from one pocket to the next to bring in something that brings value, to get us to the next level, or to even create bandwidth, right? Because really what we need is bandwidth. Sometimes we get so caught in the creative side of things that we put the blinders on, and then what we do is sometimes we forget about all the other little details, and then when we fucking lift up, we're like, oh shit, how did this happen? Because like you said, once the world started going from analog to digital, and we started getting away from tapes to CDs, and then CDs to then now thumb drives to now on the cloud. I mean, there's no need to print records. Even though they're kind of going back to it because it's cool, right?
Nostalgic,
but it's expensive.
Right.
You'll never go back to CDs because that doesn't make any sense. But it is what it is. The world has changed. Just like we're not gonna print flyers unless you want to be nostalgic, and you want to be able to be like, oh, and people look at these things like, what is this? That's called a flyer, right. Marketing piece. So I know that the record industry has had its. You got Capitol Records in Hollywood empty.
Yeah,
the whole building is empty. I mean, that thing used to be packed.
Yeah.
With A&R and all kinds of people going in and out of that place. Right. Empty building.
Right.
So now the record industry or the industry itself has to find other ways and also compact itself. I love going to your guys' studio, man. That studio is well built and well designed.
Yeah, shit, it's almost done in construction.
And that's been in progress forever.
Yeah, a couple years. The crazy part, to me is, now, like, especially with AI coming, right?
Yeah.
It's now one person can now manage many roles. And so I think that's one of the things, like, I'm grateful for my journey. Over the time, I've had to play a lot of roles, from street promoter to then learning how to manage the promotion team and coordinate 30 people, to then execute scheduling and the management of those things, then how to sell and do sponsorships, and then how to put on the event, and then how to perform at the event, and how to work with the artist, how to tour manage, how to manage. Like, there's so many roles that in any business you have to, especially to run a company, you have to know at least how it's done. So when you hire, you know what you're looking for in the person that you're bringing on.
Right.
And you might not have to do everything or know how to do everything the best, but you got to have ideas of how to do that. And again, with this AI shit coming, man, I got to, like, even my job is about to be, like, as making beats and being like a musician. That's about to get streamlined. Like, there's this friend of mine. He's Lady Gaga's producer and DJ. His name's Paul Blair, DJ White Shadow. He was one of the first guys to really kind of help me out. He's the one who helped introduce me to Bieber's team in LA.
Got it.
He shows me this program like 4 months ago. He's been telling me about this for 5 years. He's like, I'm working on this AI program to make beats. And I'm like, 5 years later, I'm with them a couple months ago, and he's like, here, beta's ready. We're rolling it out, Clayton. Here, test it. So I type in the prompt, cool, I want a melodic slap house beat. In 1 minute, the demo is done.
What?
It's not like the sound choices is perfect. The chord progressions are perfect. It's a great starting point.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, now I can
It's like fucking auto-tune when it came out. Everybody started jumping on auto-tune.
And you can sing. Yeah.
Now everybody can sing, right?
But now in 1 minute, that pretty much saves me at least 30 minutes. 30 minutes to an hour of just sound selection, finding the right chord progression, finding the right, mapping out the drums, right? The arrangement. It does all that shit for you in 60 seconds. I'm watching the clock, and then bing, and you press the button. I look at him like, Paul, this is fucking incredible. Like, we're here. And
now, does it take the creativeness out of you though? Because do you have a certain beat and sound that you would have orchestrated there? Did that end result give you the satisfaction?
No, it gave me the starting point. So now I can bring in the songwriter, write the song.
Yeah.
And then, like, if you listen to any great song, you have these things called identifiers. The things in the song, it might be an incredible melody.
Right.
It might
Or
be
the hook.
Certain sound choice. It might be the hook.
Yeah.
So those identifiers is what makes that track original, unique to, because, you know, every genre has a template, the band per se, right? So every genre has the drum sound. This you know, reggaeton beat is always a reggaeton beat. West Coast hip hop, same sounds and drums, right? So it just speeds up the process, but then it makes it easier for more people to do it. So now, even in this stage, it's now learning how to manage these processes. You know, like that's what I'm really like starting to understand. Like with the coming of AI and all this stuff.
I used it the other day, so it was funny. I was typing up. I haven't written a commercial radio spot for a long time, and I'm rusty on that part. And my boy walks in.
ChatGPT.
So my boy comes in and he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Bro, I can't leave it. I gotta type up this this radio spot." He goes, "Bro, go to ChatGPT and say radio spot." I said, "No, that's not gonna work." I'm like, he goes, "Do it." So I said, "Okay." So I said, "Summer block party radio spot, 30-second radio spot." All of a sudden, fucking. It
gives you the demo.
It gives you it even tells you announcer.
Yeah.
It drops in the crowd noise. It even tells you what to put in.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh shit. I was like, it gave me the bass.
Yeah.
Right.
The outline.
The outline. Yeah. So then I was like, and then I went back and I said, okay, let's add Silicon Valley. Let's I added certain other pieces
the location
to it.
piece. That's where it goes. Yep.
So all of a sudden, it booted it out, and I was like, oh shit! Like, and he's like, yeah, motherfucker. Like, I just saved you some time. Now let's go. And I was like, whoa! Like that was like, let's go, because it was done. I submitted it, and they came back, and I heard the production of that, and I was like, oh shit!
Yeah,
this is crazy. Like, it took me 2 minutes. Actually, I had the copy points, and I copied and I dropped what I had dropped in.
Yeah.
And it redid the whole thing.
And it perfected
and
it.
Yeah.
I mean, and think about it, and that's with the version that's probably the general version that's out for the public. Now they have the enterprise versions. Like, imagine what that shit's doing.
Wow.
You know, you could literally probably automate your whole business. But so going back to like why I ended up coming back to the Bay.
Yeah, man.
This is really why.
Yeah.
Like, I started to see in LA, like, LA's big on trends, the marketing, the look and feel. It's Hollywood.
Yeah, it's fucking glitz and glamours, man. It's
and that's what I was getting.
Smoke and mirrors, baby.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting tired of, because I think like the smoke and mirrors only last for so long, and then there has to be substance.
That's right.
You only can, like, the term "fake it till you make it." That only lasts for so long, and then people will see through your bullshit.
That's right.
And what I've noticed is people in anything, like the ones who last a long time, your 20, 30, 40-year staples in any industry, it's because they have their formula and their substance to what they're doing. And obviously, people aren't going to work for you if you're treating them like shit.
Right.
You're morally ass backwards.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of that in Hollywood. Yeah. And it didn't resonate with me. So
yeah, well, fucking, I mean, you're in the heart of it all, right? I mean, the LA's a different beast. Imagine New York too, right? New York's a whole different. That's a different hustle. And being in the entertainment capital of the world, or Hollywood, right? That's. Right, but you're seeing some crazy shit.
I did. I saw a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah,
probably too much to even talk about. But I did learn a lot.
Come on, give us one story, one good one.
Oh man.
Let's see. I mean, you don't have to tell the artist, but at least give us. We'll probably figure it out.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is the first thing that popped in my head, just because this was like a. Well, I mean, there's a couple, but. LA was the first time I ever walked into a studio and saw bowls of cocaine on the table.
There you go.
And I was like,
welcome to Hollywood.
Yeah, I was like, damn. Like, you're not
what's that?
You're not even trying to hide it. Like, you're just like, here. I mean, and then, you got these after hour parties that start at fucking 5, 6 in the morning, and you have all these actors and actresses and famous people going up to these mansions.
Yeah.
That are either that are most of the time being rented out, right? Because some billionaire owns the shit.
Yeah.
And then the billionaire just wants to kind of be around the stuff.
Right.
And that was, again, it was like
Yeah, they want to live vicariously because, I mean, they were so focused on building
their shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell myself that right now. It's like, fuck, I'm not around the fun anymore like I used to because I'm building some big dreams. And it's just interesting. I can relate to that.
Yeah.
That. And then when I go to some of these parties, I went to an event on Sunday. It was coffees and cars at my boy's house. And there was probably about $30 million worth of cars there. Of like just exotics, and I'm like
toys, huh?
Yeah, and I'm there. I brought one of my toys too. I stepped up, but I was like, I'm just around that, and then their drive was they were like, oh, where are the chicks? And I'm like, they're like, I'm like, fuck you guys, even if there was chicks around here, you don't got the game to get it. So
but they have the money.
They go, they got the money, bro.
It's funny because you see all like this shit with P Diddy rolling out, and it's like, dude. And, you know, but it's funny how they put it, and I don't know all the details, right? But they're like, Puff Daddy sex trafficking.
Yeah.
But I'm like, did you ever hear this guy's music? Like, there's pimps and hoes and strippers in all of hip hop.
Yeah.
Like, how did it turn from that to, and again, I don't know all the details.
Right.
But I just think that's funny. And it's probably to cover up some billionaire that owns Universal or owns Warner, because they're the one that he was supplying it for.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's crazy shit, man.
And I'm not defending him at all either.
No,
but I'm just stating a case, like how this world works, and that's what I learned in Hollywood.
That's right.
Like the smoke and mirrors of it.
That's right.
The politics.
That's why I wrote a book, Smoke and Mirrors, man.
Which great, man. Actually, that could be the title of our conversation today.
Smoke and Mirrors, baby. Yeah, the lifestyle, the nightlife is all smoke and mirrors, man. And that to me is when I fell out of love with it. I remember the day that it happened. I'm at my club and it's fucking packed, and I'm watching everybody and I'm watching the debauchery just happening.
Right.
I'm from the bar, and then all of a sudden the music just went like it went wong wong, like it just went. I didn't hear it. I went deaf in there. I was like. And then everything just became slow motion. I was like, I wasn't even on when I was like, what the hell? Yeah. Like, what's going on here? And I fell out of love with it, man. And that's the hard part.
I mean, see, I have a different addiction. You know, like I never so much got caught up in the lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Like I never got into music for money. I got into music because music saved my life. Like music was my way to express my soul. Mm-hmm. I didn't have... As I've gotten older, I now have the language to be able to express myself the way I want to, and I'm hopefully getting better every day at that. But when I was younger, I couldn't do that. Yeah, I wasn't good at articulating, or like I've never been a great salesman. Yeah. I'm a great people person.
Yeah. We always have fun.
But people like you'll sell shit to a fly, you know, like you'll sell ice to an Eskimo. Like you have this ability. All right,
I'm good. I'm a closer.
Yeah, you are. And I've never been that person. I've always kind of been more. I've always been a little bit more introverted. I've always been like I kind of don't talk unless I know you.
Right.
You know, like. But then when you know me, like
it's on.
Shit, yeah, like you know, I can be myself. And so music for me was I couldn't articulate myself, but I could play you a chord progression, or I could play the piano and show you how I feel. Yeah. I could show my heart.
That's a panty dropper right music. There, bro. Jesus, bro. I mean, come on. That's a different game right there, you know? Wife, come over. Whoa, shit. Yeah. By the way, I love Nayeli, bro. And congratulations on the baby. Your boy is, how old is your?
He's 5.
5 years old. Man.
I'm really enjoying fatherhood right now.
Time flies.
You know? And then again, so that was happening in LA, and that's why when this opportunity came up with Empire.
Empire is not just Empire. Empire is a fucking beast, man. They're a monster in the community. So
when I got back up here, I'm thinking like Empire is still Empire from like 5 to 7 years ago.
Yeah,
like West Coast based, West Coast driven. Boy, was I wrong. The first week I'm in the building, you know, Ghazi's like, hey, meet Ronnie. She's our head of Empire Asia. Hey, meet Balaji. He's our head of Empire Africa. I'm like, wait, what? Mm-hmm. We're a global company already?
Yeah, that's right.
And I think I was like 71 or 72 like employee. But now there's over like 300 employees.
Yeah.
So it's like scaled so much. But here's the beauty of it. Because I don't even like how I just said it right there. I'm more of a business partner.
Yeah, you are.
Like
well, you're top 100, and yeah, you are. You're part of the founding, like the founders of that
for the record label side and
yes.
and the studio.
That's right.
Like we're building the systems.
That's right.
To make that happen, and now it's expanding to New York, Atlanta. I think they're building one in LA, but that's the division that I'm in is eventually going to be a formula for what we do all over the world.
Did they ever end up finishing the podcast studio up there? I know when they did.
It's ready now.
It's ready now.
Yeah,
they haven't even. That thing is beautiful. I got to take Janine up there to take a look, get inspired.
Yeah, you guys definitely got to come up.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I ended up doing like a multi-tier deal with Ghazi. He's like, hey, because how your producer deals work, like I was offered 3. They're called publishing deals. So it's like a artist deal, but for a producer, and. So I was offered 3 different deals with 3 different major companies in Los Angeles, and none of it felt right. It was like, here, let me give you $250,000. Let me give you, X, but now I own half of you.
Right.
And you still got to repay that money back. It's like a loan. So
that's crazy.
And I'm like, okay. But then the whole thing is like, you want to, like, once you get to these upper echelons of, really anything, you need a team.
Yeah.
You have to have strategic partnerships.
That's right.
And I didn't feel like anybody gave a shit about me personally. What I saw was people seeing that I was tapped into the culture, and I was an innovator in the culture.
That's right.
And they wanted that.
That's right. They wanted to figure out a way to tap into it and then take it.
Yes.
And that's the dark side of the scene, right?
Right.
It's like that even in business on different stuff.
For sure.
That's why they say guard your relationships, right?
Yes.
Protect your circles. Like right now, I'm rolling with some heavy hitters, and everybody wants to get near the circles, right? Because they want to try to reach. The problem is that I already know that unless you've worked your way up there, all you're going to do is you can pierce the circle,
but you're not going to have anything substance wise.
There's no. That's right. Yeah. Amen to that.
You have no value to offer.
That's right. There's no substance to get in, and all you're going to do is just splash shit all over the place, and then. And
probably fuck your own self up, and you're going to be booted out anyway.
Right, exactly.
I've seen it happen many times.
Yeah, I mean, and that's how radio is too. I mean, that's how I saw radio. And then
artists are like that all the time.
Yeah.
Artists are like, I want to get put on, but you haven't done the work.
Yeah.
To get to, so I could help you get on.
Right.
Nobody could live your dream.
Right.
You have a dream for a reason.
That's right.
I have a dream for a reason. We're called to build. Our purpose is to build that dream.
That's right.
And the lazy way of looking at it is put me on. No, build your shit, and at the right time, the partners that you need come.
That's right.
That's what I've learned.
Fuck, that's the highlight of the fucking conversation today, bro. It's true. You got to build it. Yeah. And I always tell people, I just had this conversation too. Yesterday, there's no such thing as a free lunch, man. That doesn't exist. There's nothing free. Anything that comes that's free, it's got the strings attached to it are actually worse than if you just fucking said, hey, you know what do I owe you? Let me take care of it. Because I'd rather take care of that now than to have a we thought conversation later or, and really that's what it is, a we thought conversation. Yeah. And then that's the worst feeling. We were just at we were at the Aspire tour. And one of the guys that was speaking, I think it was Eddie Wilson or Andrew Cordell, who said, cut the deal from the gate and then get that out of the way and then move forward, because that's exactly what happens. And they always say, Magic Johnson actually hit it on that one when he was talking at the one that we went to in LA. And he says, don't hire your friends or your family, right? Or if you do, at least you got to have everything dialed in order, right? Because those are the people that feelings get hurt and then shit falls apart. So interesting how it all went down. So I know that Ghazi decided that he wanted to also start not just focusing on the hip hop world, but started to spread his wings. I know that you and I created a label. Yeah. It was your vision, and I just kind of jumped on board and said, hey, I want to be executive producer. But the dance world obviously is continually growing.
Yeah.
The urban market is continuously trying to cross over too. I mean, it's not nothing new, mashups and crossovers of hip hop remixes and all that. But the sound that you've come up with as well, I mean, in the Latin dance music, with the label that we started was UDM, Urban Dance Music, which that's your brainchild. You had this idea. Urban dance music is simple. It's urban music, but with remixed or mixed with some dance and music. I mean, it was something that has grown some legs. That to the point where you got some attention, and now Ghazi also spread it out and started to acquire. I mean, one of the biggest acquisitions was Dirty Bird. Dirty Bird, that whole group.
Yeah, it's been cool.
And then you obviously started bringing in some more team players on there.
Yeah,
and I think I hit it right. If I didn't, correct it.
Well, I mean, it's multiple kind of verticals, right?
Right.
So like Empire was already looking to get into the dance space. I think, like I was mentioning before, like there's Empire Africa, there's Empire Latino, there's a country division. We have the outside of Beyonce, right? Like she was arguably the first African American country artist, which I wouldn't call her a country artist, but she charted
country pop.
She charted on the country charts with her last project,
right?
And she had two of our artists.
Crazy how much hate came out after her on that.
Hey, when people do something different,
that's right.
There's always going to be traditionalists who push back. I love to see innovation, so I'm really thankful. Like our company is a part of the forefront of getting behind African American country artists. I got to work with two artists, Shabuzi or Raina Roberts. So she was on Beyonce's project, and Shabuzi. Shabuzi was also on Beyonce's country album as well, and now he just surpassed her and has the #1 country single. It's called a bar song, Tipsy. They flipped everybody in the club getting tipsy.
Oh yeah.
And he's got lines in there from that song. And now in a country record.
Oh wow!
And the shit absolutely exploded. Like he performed at.
Well, fuck. You know what? Who did that? Nelly did that though. Along with that, he
did for hip hop. But now this is an actual like African American dude from Virginia, actually from the sticks, actually a country dude. You know what I mean? And I've been working with him for like the last 3 years. I've gotten to work with him, and now the dude's taken off. He's he's #3 on the Hot 100 Billboard charts. #1 at country. So Empire was already diversifying itself into these other genres. Yeah. And obviously like the Afrobeat stuff really took off. Like I've been working with this guy, Ashake, for the last 2 years now. And this past year, he was nominated for a Grammy. And I worked on...
Hey, when they get nominated and he wins, does the whole... Everybody on the team, anybody that worked on those projects get a little trophy too, or...
Yes. And here's where I was like excited for him, and then I was like, damn. Because there was three songs he had in consideration for the Grammy nomination. I worked on 2 out of the 3.
Nice.
So I'm like, oh shit! Like I might actually have a shot at like if these songs get nominated, I'm a nominee too.
Nice.
And unfortunately, the song I didn't work on got the nomination.
There you go. Fucking Murphy's Law, baby.
Hey, but it's still okay. Like I mean, even just to get that close, and knowing that. All that is in right around the corner. I feel for me now.
Yeah,
because the team,
right?
The team. And that's why I was very thankful to come and do this multi-tiered situation with Ghazi. He put me on salary as an in-house producer and engineer. Yeah, and then I did a publishing deal. So, but an admin deal, he doesn't take 50%. He takes a lot less. And then. He gave me the opportunity to start an imprint, which we've done, and UDM. So and so that I'm personally focusing on.
You've done some dope shit on UDM, bro. We've done some fucking badass remixes of some old classics too.
It's coming along. I got to get you this new one. It's Los Racas and I on some dope like Latin dance vibes.
Nice.
And that comes out in the next few weeks. So, but then Empire decided to jump in the dance space. It's been a little over a year. So they acquired Dirty Bird. Yep. Appointed Moody Jones as like the head of Empire Dance. And then Darren, who's the label manager for Dirty Bird, They're basically like the 1 and 2 of that division. As soon as that happened, like I was already working with Moody like on some remixes and stuff. We had remixed the Fireboy Peru track that came out a few years back, and we cut like his goal with Empire Dance was to go get big shit. So I don't know if you remember like Aluna. She had a song with she was in a group called Aluna George, but she just had some monster records with like Chris Lake. They went and signed her label. They did some stuff with Fisher. They did some stuff with the Martinez brothers.
No, I love the Martinez brothers.
Out of New York.
Yeah,
they're like
they're the proteges of Masters at Work. Little Louis Vega and Kenny Dope Gonzalez. Yeah,
got you. Yeah, I mean they're absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
I think their biggest songs right now are with Empire.
Nice.
So it's cool to see Empire Dance establishing itself across the dance space, and then I've kind of come in more as a remixer to kind of help. Like we did this Afrobeat it was called House of Empire Africa.
Yeah.
And so we took a bunch of songs from our African from our Afrobeats department and we remixed them.
Yeah.
And I co-produced 3 of them and then got to put out one that was my remix. And that one's doing really well on the compilation. And then now I'm stepping into my first A&R role.
Nice.
And I presented right before my daughter
Fucking
came.
adult babysitting now, bro. A&R. Yeah. Kind of.
So my approach is a little bit different, right? But you're very right. You're very right. But not as bad as a manager.
How bad do you want it? How bad? I need you in the studio. You want to make music? You got to get in the studio.
You have to, yeah.
Yeah, no.
But my approach is a little bit different because, like, okay, so I presented like this hyphy house compilation. I'm like, I want to take, and I've had this idea for like when I first jumped into dance music, that's essentially what I was doing already. Yeah. I just didn't have the resources and team to be able to put this shit together. Now, so I pitched it to Moody, and Moody's like, well, why don't you A&R it? And I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, I know I could do this.
Yeah.
So already confirmed, Too Short, E40, Little John, Mr. Fab, Andre Nicotina, D-Lo, Tyga.
Hey, we're gonna have to get them on the show, bro. You're gonna have to set some meetings up here for me, dog. Let's go. Let's make this thing happen.
But yeah, already. So like we have some originals. So like the first original is a track that Moody has with Nicotina and Mr. Fab on like some groovy, like funky, like soulful house type shit.
Yeah.
And then Spooky and myself helped Moody to co-produce that track. And then, so here's where I can, as a producer already, I'm kind of, if you're an A&R and you don't have the production skill set, you have to be on people's ass to like get tracks done.
Yeah, you got to crack the whip, man.
I just need ideas from people, and if they don't finish it, I'll fucking finish it.
There you go.
So I'm kind of like, I'm trying to be very proactive in my approach.
Because voices you can get. I mean, lyrics and hooks and all that stuff you can get. I mean, there's plenty of artists that are out there that'll drop a hook just to get a piece of the action. I mean, and that's a whole different world to the business, man. I mean, drop a little hook and the hook is a hit, they're getting paid.
Yeah.
So,
but anyways, so I'm excited because it will come out this summer.
Nice.
I feel like we're about 8 weeks away from or I think 4 to 6 weeks away from the start of the rollout.
Right.
And then this is where you and I got to talk because I definitely want to follow it up with a big show. Yeah. Like toward the end of the year.
Well, from what I hear, there's some stuff that's coming out to San Jose. Some artists that are being booked. We need to talk about that too because I still believe that the Dirty Bird brand or that dance brand needs to be. We need to do a party and event. I've reached out. I wanted to see who's going to do what, and I casted the net far and wide. Teamed up with Michael Hargis up in Sacramento to see what their team can do. We expanded their brand 916 to this 408. We'll see what it does. Reached out to the boys, Beto and Carlos that you introduced me to, but we'll see what they can do. Right? You want to see. Everyone talks about what they can do, but life happens or whatever it is, and we'll see if they ever come down to produce. Right? All we have to do is one event, and that breaks.
Yeah,
that breaks the ice.
Yeah.
That breaks the ground. Yeah. I know that we've talked about doing the thing with Moody to do the Dirty Bird thing. I think that we're ready for it because we're not worried about are we dealing with the next pandemic or what. I mean, the problems are now happening on the other side of the world right now, unfortunately. And, it's crazy,
That's
right?
a whole other conversation.
That's a whole, and But there's always going to be distractions, right? I think that now we're at the point where we can start rebuilding the entertainment scene, the nightlife scene, just the whole scene as a whole. We can start rebuilding it, and it's going to need people to take risk and relationships.
Yeah.
And the only and now relationships are worth more than anything else, because if you don't have them, you ain't going to go anywhere. And you need bandwidth, right? Because the world of influencers now is like your events, right? You got some new events that you guys are doing. If you don't have the bandwidth or the influencers, man, you're kind of like wondering what do you do next? How do you work efficiently? Because we're so used to working efficiently. Yeah. Passing out flyers ain't gonna happen anymore. Those are just little like novelties, like when oh, what's this? Oh, great, flyer and stuff. But the world obviously has changed a lot. So now it's just a time of execution.
I love the philosophy of like looking down the road and working backwards, because now man, if this big shit's coming up, like now how do we start to set up the smaller things?
Well, we have to. You
into it.
That's right, because you need practice, right? What happens is just like when we did this taco event on Saturday. I'm glad that the weather kind of played against us, because if we would have had 1,000 people, we would have failed left and right because we weren't prepared for what to expect. Luckily, we did half of that, and we were semi-prepared, and we were able to at least say, okay, on the next year, this is what it's going to look like. And then by the third year, we'll have it dialed in.
Right.
No different than these big, EDC didn't blow up overnight. EDC's been going around. It's been out for 30 years now.
Yeah.
And 30 years later, that fucking thing is one of the largest festivals now in the world.
Yeah.
So Ghazi didn't get to where he's at overnight. I mean, he's been doing this shit since he was young, real young. Yeah.
Life's about balance.
Good luck, bro.
I mean, I feel like that's what I'm learning now.
Yeah. Well, as we get older, I mean, balance is a big word to use. I think you have to prioritize. One of the things that I've learned in the last couple of months, and I didn't do this on my own, is I had to really good friend of mine that I've known for a long time, who's now my personal nutrition coach, and he Mike Escobar, by the way, I give him a shout out here. My boy, he saw me, bro, and he's like, hey, dude, and I gave him my book because it's like a business card, right? Some people will read it, some people will just fucking put it on the side and say, oh, cool, I have Mauricio's book. Well, he turned around and read it and came back to me one day. Man, he goes, you got some good shit in here, man, some real good stuff. He goes, how do you feel? Like almost put the mirror in front of me. He says, how do you feel about how you look on the outside? I was like, whoo, hit me hard. And then at that point, it was like, all right, I had to do some digging deep. And balance, I didn't know what balance was, what it meant, right? All I know from what you know me, is I work, bro. Yeah. I work, and sometimes what happens is we lose sight, and we just keep running red lights until one day we look and it catches up, right?
Right.
Something with our health.
Right.
Something that we've talked about in the past, because, I care about you. You're my friend, and, I want to see you. You got two babies now. You got to make sure that you also take care of yourself too. Balance is not just work and making money, because you and I know how to make a lot of money. Yeah. We're creative juices are always going to be coming out. Yeah. That's nonstop. Yeah. Nonstop. Even after a couple cocktails, I think we get even more creative. But even with that, I've cut back just because I've had to, man. It just it depends which version of a balance we want.
I mean, my schedule changes a lot. You know? I'm thankful that I can kind of dictate it a little bit better now.
Yeah.
They definitely, my team understands, like, I want to be there for my kids. And I need to be there mentally for myself and my family to then balance and be the best I am at work.
Yeah.
I mean, this, studio life is crazy.
Yeah.
But life is crazy.
Yeah.
So I have no complaints about it. This is what I signed up for. This isn't a 9 to 5. This is a 24/7.
That's right.
Even when I'm putting my son to bed or playing games with him, I'm still thinking about work.
Yeah. Well, it's the melody, the noise is going in your head
all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just
it's the noise you want, not the unnecessary noise.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure you understand this. Like, I mean, this is the shit I've dreamt about my entire life. So to be in this position, to be one of the first few people like brought on board within the Empire system to develop the studio's studio platform, the
Yep.
record label platform,
Yep.
and now being able to curate things that I'm passionate about and that I believe in. Now I want to learn the analytics to that and understand the financing behind that, and really understand how to. I mean, if it's not already, I mean, like Empire's, we're now the 8th largest music company in the world. I've watched Ghazi build this in 15 years.
Yep.
I'm now at the point where like residual money is continuously coming in, and now I want to grow that and grow that and grow that.
Yep.
And I want to get better at that every day so I can work smarter.
Yeah.
And not harder.
Yeah. That always works out, diversifying and the stuff you're doing.
I want to be that example for my son and for my daughter. Like, I still I worked till 3:00 in the morning this morning.
Yeah.
But my son was up around 7:30. I'm at least acknowledging and trying to help him get breakfast while my wife takes him to school. Get a quick nap. I'm back up, and then we go for a walk or we go for a jog. Then we try to at least be active. My son comes home. He's in baseball. He's in martial arts. I really want to stress how important morals and values are at this stage in the game. I think if you don't teach this next generation what truth is, I think you could be misled into a lot of different arenas that can be very dangerous later in life.
Yeah. Even and I think for them it's at a young age, right? Because if they don't have any kind of guidance, I mean, thank God we had some guidance when we were younger, because, some of the stupid shit I did in my life, I didn't do until I got older. But that was a choice, right? It was a choice that I made. It wasn't because I was necessarily following the trend, right? I was like, fuck it, whatever, let's go.
And then do you think it eventually would catch up to you and then bounce you back toward the right path?
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. And
so,
that's what's happened now is that 6 months ago when I looked at myself and really without even realizing it, when I was put a mirror in front of me and said, "Yo, this is where you say you're at mentally and the stuff that you talk about." He goes, "But are you satisfied?" And when they hit you with that kind of accountability, right? Like you're just like, damn. Not only fucking financially, right, or in business, but your mindset, right? And it doesn't always have to be physical. It's just mindset.
Right. And then we're both Geminis.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that mindset too, and this is something
I'm June 11th. What's yours?
I'm June 21st.
That's right.
I'm on the cusp. But what I'm learning too with my son, like sometimes setting expectation, if your expectation is too big, you always leave yourself open for failure and disappointment. I'm trying to learn how to still be disciplined with my life and have I never want to lose the go-getter mentality. Like growing up in the Bay, like we're built with that.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to learn how to, I guess the word self-love, self-care, because I think as young men, we're not taught that. My dad was in the military. Shut the fuck up. Stop being a bitch. Don't be a pussy. Get up.
Let's
do it
go.
again.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm still being dad to my son.
Yeah.
But I also want him to know, like, the grind can also wear you out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Agreed. 100%.
Like
100%.
And I didn't know that until I think my son came.
Yeah.
Now I'm smarter, like you said earlier. You can run red lights all you want. Eventually, you're going to get caught.
You're gonna get T-boned. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to be smarter with that. And I'm trying to be. I love my dad, but I think there's some things in his generation that I can work on.
Right. Well, we all, and that's when we start peeling some of the layers out, right?
Yeah.
What are our drives? See, I'm gonna take your version and I'm gonna take it to a different level. I set expectations unreasonably fucking beyond.
So do I.
So I take them beyond, and I don't fucking care if I'm falling on my face, fucking head first. I'll do whatever it takes. I have a mantra that I say to myself: nothing or no one will get in the way of my success. Period. Nothing or no one, meaning nothing as in like a circumstance, or anyone, meaning fucking not even my own family, will get in the way of my success. Sounds extreme, right? But we have to be selfish with ourselves sometimes in order to get in order to get to where, because along the way, life is going to be kicking our ass left and right, whether it's our health, whether it's financially, whether it's fucking some crazy noise and all that stuff. At the end of the day, I just got to go back to the roots, and sometimes I have to even deal with those fucking demons or those the traumas of growing up, but I don't let it hold me down or dictate. I just use that as energy again,
Fuel, right.
rocket fuel to keep catapulting me to the next level. And Billionaire Dreams requires a billionaire mindset. Yeah. So,
and a little bit of luck or faith, whatever you want to call it.
For me, it's faith. Yeah. I'm a believer. Luck to me is just a byproduct of hard work.
Preparation. I love that you said that.
Nothing or no one.
Nothing or no one stand in my way, and I would just add, by the graces of God, all those things, that miracle is going to come. And most of the time, it comes when you're at that breaking point.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And it's crazy because sometimes it doesn't take any. It's not anything that's in the way. It's just you're in your own way.
Of course, yeah. We get in our own head. We start talking ourselves down a rabbit hole, and then that's where the forgiveness comes in. And I practice this. I try to do this every morning. I get up and I be thankful for what I got.
Yeah.
And when I go there for 15, 20 minutes, I can't talk on the phone. I can't talk to nobody until I do that.
Yeah. I'm on the same wavelength. Fucking, I got to shut everything out, all the extra noise.
Yeah.
And I just got to dive into it, and then I know how to regroup.
Yeah.
That's what and part of the reason why I do that is because I save myself from me.
Yes.
From self-destruction, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely learning how to calm the noise and stay focused. Prioritize.
I see your shit fucking to the point where when you get that Grammy, bro, we're throwing a Grammy party, bro.
Come on, man. I really feel like it's right around the corner.
I think so too. I think with all the artists, I mean, we didn't even hit on all the artists that you've been rubbing shoulders with. The last time we were in Vegas, bro, I had fun with Little John. That was fun. So.
You're the only person I've taken to go fuck with Little John.
And that was fun. That was some dope shit. Actually, I'm gonna get that picture. I have a picture with all three of us. That fucking night was insane.
Again, it's a blessing to be able to have a dream as a youngster.
Yeah.
And then again, that's one of my favorite childhood icons.
Yeah.
Just like an E40 or Too Short, and to now have a relationship with somebody like that. And this is, I love how we're ending the conversation on this topic.
Yeah.
Because like you said, the faith, put structure in your life, prioritizing, God, your faith, your family, your business. As I'm learning how to prioritize those things in that order and center myself and live in my purpose and in my spirit, I watch the world around me change daily. You know? My attitude changes, my perception changes, and then the relationships change. Like going back to what we were talking about earlier with the circles that you get into.
My relationships from 6 months ago are fucking so different than today. Right. And a lot of it just had to do by my physical transformation. Nice. And along the physical transformation, the mindset that is done for me.
Yeah, the spirit changes as well.
Today I had to break it down and say, hey, I'm not on that frequency, so I'm sorry if you feel offended, but my intentions are not to offend you. My intentions right now is to fucking close these deals and make sure that my shit is dialed in, because the people that are surrounding me right now are holding me accountable. And if I walk into a room with a fucking shit sandwich, I'm going to be eating shit sandwiches for the rest of the, for the rest of the week or the rest of my life. So what's more important to me? So that's just the way it goes, man. So we got to make shit happen, bro. We're going to definitely got to put some events together or do something. All we need to do, I always tell people, all we got to do is just one.
Come on, man.
Before we end it, I want to know words of inspiration, man. What is something that you would want to tell somebody out there that's dreaming big, that wants to be in the entertainment industry or the music world? What are 3 key points? And I say 3, why? Because it's just,
Right. I mean, the first one is, believe in yourself.
All right. That's important, right? If you can't believe in yourself, you ain't going to do shit.
Nah, and that comes from, I believe, spiritual truths and knowing who you are. They say know thyself, right? Second would be sharpen your tool. Sharpen your tools. Like I feel like even though I didn't graduate college, I learn every day. Yeah, I'm getting better every day.
Nice.
And if you're not getting better, somebody else is.
That's right.
And then
that's real talk. I mean, there.
This last one, but it should be probably the first one. Relationships. The one thing I'm very thankful for is it might have been a blessing and a curse for me in my life. Like I've kind of like when I was younger, I was a people pleaser. That maybe isn't the best thing, but because I cared about people,
Right.
it allowed me to build relationships over time. And as I grew, my relationships would grow. The real ones you grow closer to over
Right.
time. And I think that's probably one of the biggest game pieces I've ever gotten in life.
Cool. Well, I'm in agreement. I think that work ethic is always important. Having values.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I always tell people there's really three things in mind: is doing good work with good people, or good business with good people where nobody gets hurt. Everybody wins, and
Keep doing it.
keep doing it and take it to the bank.
Yeah.
That's it. So anyway, man, I want to thank you for coming out, my brother. We got to definitely do something soon. And I know you got some.
Well, we still got to get this record label going.
Let's
UDM
go.
already did over 1 million streams within the projects last year. This year we're going to do at least 2.5 to 3 million.
Well, so I think
I need your help amplifying that shit.
Yeah, well, let's make it happen. I mean, I think at this point the foundation is somewhat there, right? We're never going to say the foundation is solid, but it's there. It's there. The foundation is there, and I think one of the things that I threw out in the universe is, I want to do something with Nicky Jam, Bad Bunny, J Balvin, all those guys. Yeah, I want to get some of their vocals on our tracks.
Come on, we need that,
and we'll make it happen. So
yeah.
All right, my brother. Well, thank you for coming down today. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and your family. Tell your wife I say hello and I love her, and the kids, your boy's off the hook. Stay on him, bro. Stay on him.
He's gonna be a little heartbreaker.
Yeah, he's got some energy too. That boy's got some energy. So anyway, good.
I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure, my brother. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Mauricio Mejia Live.